Okay, let's just say on 3, we'll say, we're engaged!
Okay.
Okay, so that's how we're gonna start the video. 3, 2, 1.
We're engaged! Bye guys, I will be right back. We'll be right back.
Hi everybody, today we are finally very happy to officially announce, I announced it on Twitter and Instagram and pretty much everywhere else, but if you guys are not caught up to date yet, Lastic and I are getting married!
We're engaged!
So yeah, so I figured today we should just do like a short little Q&A. I asked on Twitter for some questions for Lastic and I because we are now engaged, and I just figured we should do a short little Q&A. Today's video is not going to be super long, but...
Yeah, and I feel like today's video, even though I'm going to be sitting here, mostly it's going to be you talking about it because it was your proposal.
She wasn't ready at all.
No.
Well, I mean, not ready, but she wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I was not expecting it. But I think we should also tell them of why we decided not to post like a video on the proposal.
Oh, I'm sure that's one of the questions.
I didn't see it. I went through the questions.
Oh, well, I got a couple questions asking me if I had filmed the proposal and stuff, but with so many things and so many parts of our lives being put onto YouTube and being shared with you guys, I think it's awesome and I love sharing mine and our life together, but there are just some things that I do want to keep between me and her and just like really personal. I don't want to lose grasp of like having those intimate moments between us that we could actually just have just for ourselves and remember forever. So I didn't want to specifically film it, but of course we can talk about it and just pretty much, we were not going to reenact it, but we can tell you guys how it happened.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the questions.
Yeah.
Sure. So we're not going to read a ton of questions. I didn't really look over these at all. I looked over them a little bit. So the first question, actually the first top question right here is from Chad, who said, can I be the flower girl? And that's up to you. Is Chad gonna be our flower girl?
I want him to be my flower girl, but I also want him to be my bridesmaid. I know that's impossible, but like I want him to be standing. I don't know.
So what you're gonna have to do, Chad, is you're gonna have to walk in with whatever groomsmen you walk with if you're a bridesmaid, and then you're going to have to go up there, run back around, grab some flowers, and then just start throwing flowers everywhere down the aisle.
Yeah.
That question is from Lee Ann Gamer. How did you know you were ready to propose to her? Well, I guess I just got a feeling. You just know when you're super ready. I mean, I've known for a long time. Actually, I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time, and we talk about marriage. It wasn't like a secret in our relationship that we knew we wanted to eventually get married. And so I knew for a long time that I wanted to propose. There was just a misunderstanding as far as what I thought she wanted when it came to a proposal. She had in the past told me that she didn't want to be engaged for a long time, and so I took that as, if I don't think we can get married in the next 6 months, don't propose. But I misunderstood exactly what she meant, so as soon as we kind of clarified that between each other.
What I meant was I didn't want to get engaged and that be like a point where it's like, oh, okay, we're engaged, then we can just take as long as we want, like let it be 5 years, 6 years. Like I want it, as long as we're moving towards getting married, I'm okay with it. But I just didn't want to stand, like, you know, be idle in our status of a relationship after getting engaged.
So as soon as she cleared that up, I was like, okay. Then now, honestly, by the time we cleared that up until the time I proposed to her, it was like 2 weeks. I just had to go get a ring. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
It was really fast. As soon as she said that, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm proposing soon. When are you guys, oh, this is from Starlight YT, who asks, when are you guys having the wedding and where is it gonna be? Example, garden, beach, or church? She wants an indoor wedding.
I want an indoor wedding. I do not want to worry about whether the weather is going to be good or bad.
It'd be funny though if it was a rainy wedding.
I think it will actually be kind of romantic. We got, you proposed in the rain.
Okay, so if it's raining, we'll go outside, and if it's sunny, we'll stay indoors.
That totally makes sense.
And then we want to have it in spring too, to answer the other part. Springtime, probably next springtime-ish. We just have a lot of other unannounced stuff that we have planned between now and the actual time that we could probably get married, but we're gonna be working towards it from now. So she wants to go look at venues and just some different stuff. But next spring seems like the perfect time.
Springtime is gonna be springtime is a very popular time for weddings, so we need to book a venue.
She doesn't want to get married in the cold either, so.
No, not in the hot either.
I think a lot of people probably asked this question from Disney Girl right here, which by the way, I really like your name. She's also a Disney girl, so you guys are like sisters. How did he ask? I'm so happy to see you guys together. So
I actually want you to tell them about your thought process too, because I think it'll be
which thought process?
Oh,
okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure there's a lot of other people that asked how I did it. I want to be able to shout them out when I see them, But anyway, so what happened was pretty much I knew I wanted to go and obviously ask her parents for their blessing before I went to ask her. And the only time I knew that I could actually talk to them was when they were at work. So I had the ring, I planned to go to their work where they were working in the morning and talk to her, or talk to her parents. And originally I was going to ask them in Korean because I thought it would be really cool for me to actually at least learn something in Korean to be able to go and ask for her parents' blessing. But I couldn't, anywhere online, I couldn't find the exact way that would be appropriate and respectful for me to actually ask her parents in Korean. So I went and actually just asked them in English because I didn't want to ask her. I obviously couldn't talk to her about it and ask her. I didn't want to talk to her sister too because I wanted her sister to be surprised. And so I just went and asked English. And when I went to go talk to them, I said, "Hi, may I have your blessing to marry your daughter?" And they did not know what that meant. Her mom was like, "What does that mean?"
Well, my mom does speak some English, but the way we use, Korean Americans use blessing is in a very religious way. We have different types of blessings. So I think my mom was thinking like, oh, why is he using a religious word? Like,
yeah,
in the sentence, like I think she was a little confused.
So I explained it and I was like, it's kind of like permission, but not really permission. It's just like your blessing. I didn't know how to really explain like what it was. There was a word I thought of after the fact that I could have used, but I don't remember what it is now. But anyway, so I talked to her parents and they were both very, very happy. Her dad doesn't speak much English, but as soon as he kind of caught on to what was going on, he was just smiling and nodding and hugging, and it was really great. And they of course said yes, that I could have their blessing. And so then here was the plan. So I'm pretty goofy, I'm pretty silly, especially a lot of times in our relationship.
No way, you don't say.
Oh, I thought I was, but I guess I'm not. Anyway, I really just throughout the entire day, because a lot of times I'll ask, how do you say this in Korean? How do you say this in Korean? How do you say this?
Stuff.
Just random things.
Like stop sign.
So we are already planning on going to dinner, which was right near this bench where the first time I came out here in February, we went to this one bench, and it wasn't really the first time we got to sit and talk to each other, but it was the first time we went out on a walk and we sat on this bench. And so many times since I moved here, we've driven by this bench and we keep going, hey, there's our bench, hey, there's our bench. And it was right next to this restaurant where we were going to have dinner. And so throughout the whole day, I kept asking her, how do you say stop sign in Korean? How do you say doorknob in Korean? How do you say potted plant in Korean? And just asking her super silly things. And then I planned to take her from the dinner. We went shopping and stuff, but then go to the bench where I could say, just keep asking random things. How do you say pond in Korean? And then I could say, how do you say will you in Korean? Now, normally when I ask questions like that, she'll say, well, it depends on what you're trying to say. Like, will you what? And I was gonna say, well, how would you say, will you marry me? And then I was gonna get on my knee and propose. However, what happened was, that was the plan, but I had kind of pre-planned just in case she didn't say that. I just said, how do you say will you? And she just told me, how do you say it?
Hale.
Hale? Mm. So she just told me how to say will you, and I was like, oh. Well, what if I was saying, will you marry me? I got down on my knee and I showed her the ring, and she didn't react as I expected her to. I think I just caught her so off guard.
You caught me really off guard. I mean, it did cross my mind a little bit that you could be proposing, but like for example, like, you know how he said he's like goofy in our relationship, and it's not just him, we're both very goofy in our relationship, and so many times we would go to restaurants or like beautiful places and he would be like, now that we're surrounded by
menus. Like for like months leading up, they'd be like,
yeah,
like, now we're surrounded by the people we love and adore, and we're like, there's nobody we know, like strangers. I'd be like, it's time for me to ask you, will you unfold my napkin?
Yes. So I thought it was gonna be one of those. Like honestly, when you said will you, I was like, is he gonna propose? Nah, it's gonna be one of those. So like I said it right there, hello, and then you said, will you marry me? And then I was like, is he kidding now?
Well, I was on my knee with a ring in my hand.
Well, you got down on your knee, and then I saw your face and I was like, is he kidding me? And then I saw the ring and I was like, oh my gosh, he's not kidding me.
She's like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? You're kidding me.
And
no, and then she realized it, and she was like, oh my gosh, and then she's like, yes, but then she was just like, I'm so in shock. And it was really cute. It was an amazing moment, obviously.
Honestly, I mean, he even said it too, but honestly, I always pictured myself when, like, if I get engaged, or if you propose, when you propose, I thought I would, number one, either cry or like scream yes, you know, like out of joy. But like He caught me so
I caught her so
hard.
long ago. She even said, right, we were walking back to the car afterwards, and she said, I honestly thought I would cry, but I'm not crying. I think I'm just so shocked right now.
I did not see it coming. I mean, the day that you asked me, I was in my sweatpants and sweatshirt. Like, I was not ready. I was not ready. Not as in ready, but like not expecting it.
Not dressed well enough?
Not dressed well enough. And you were there with your dress.
I had like a nice shirt on. Because, I mean, we were going to go on a date that night anyway. So I was like, I got all dressed up for our date.
I was going to get dressed up, but it was raining and it was chilly. So I decided to just wear
it. Did start raining right before I asked her. So when I got off my knee, I had like a big mud splotch on my knee. It was really funny. So that's how that happened. That was that day. And she said yes. Thankfully. That would have been awkward. But this video probably would be a lot different if she had said no. So I'm glad she said yes. A lot of people ask a lot of questions looking way more in the future, like are we gonna have kids? We gotta get married first, guys, so we're not even talking about that yet, but a lot of questions.
There was one question that I wanted to kind of address and answer. I don't know who it was, and I don't want you to think that we're
Ask it
offended.
and I'll find them.
It was Undertale Trash said, why did you get engaged so quickly?
I feel like we would have gotten engaged even sooner had there not have been that
confusion.
That confusion.
The thing is though, before Ryan, I didn't date anybody for I think 6 years, 9 years I think. Something like that. And then he also was single for a while. And the reason why I stayed single for a long time was because I'm like, I thought I didn't want to waste my time dating people to possibly find love. Like I wasn't going to date unless I knew it was going to be, you know, there was going to be possible future. And because, I mean, since we started dating, we were always talking about how like amazing this is that we found each other and how sure we are of each other. So I think, I mean, I totally understand your question because I was one of those people that was like, unless you date 2 years, you do not know.
See, I never really understood that. I never understood why people put this time frame on when they think that should happen. Because I feel like, because there's people that, I mean, when we started dating, I mean, we knew really, really fast. I mean, we really put our relationship up in God's hands, and he really showed his presence in throughout our entire relationship, just putting so many things, aligning so many things for us.
Even with the engagement ring.
Even with the engagement ring, like somebody before I bought the engagement ring, never met her in my life. They had $100 of rewards credit, and they said, give this to the next person who's in here to buy an engagement ring. And so like even just stuff like that. And so sometimes it's just so obvious that, I mean, we're super in love and we know it's how it's supposed to be. And that could happen in a day, and that could happen in 2 days. And I'm not saying you should go in and get engaged after 2 days of knowing somebody, but I don't think you should put this time frame on it. It just seems weird to me, but.
I mean, I didn't, yes, but anyway, I was like that too. Like, I thought there was a certain time frame that you should date before you get engaged, but now I know.
I will say though,
like, once you meet the right person.
I don't think there's a certain time that you should get engaged, but I do think you should know each other enough to know that is the right person. And I do think that can take 2 or 3 years for some people.
Yeah, we got to know each other so quickly.
I think it helped that we were long distance for so long.
Because we were talking a lot.
Yeah,
instead of like, because a lot of couples that, you know, live near each other, maybe they will go on a date, they will go watch a movie, and it really takes away the talking time, conversation time. But because we were long distance, all we did was talk. We talked about everything.
So I think it really helped that we did that, which is funny because at the time it didn't seem like a blessing, but it was a blessing in disguise. So we were. It was that. Another one from Uyen, U-I-E-N. When are you gonna get married? Again, next spring is the plan. Nothing is really set in stone.
I like that question, Simon.
Simon says, what?
Simon says.
Simon says, touch your nose. What are the aesthetics in mind for the wedding cake? How can I get myself a slice? You might have to fly to America because I know that you don't live in America. So
You're in Europe, Simon.
You might have to fly to America first to get a slice. But Disney, right?
Probably something Disney. I want our wedding to be somewhat Disney themed.
I think,
especially because the engagement ring is Disney themed too.
The engagement ring is Disney themed. It's like a Tinkerbell inspired engagement ring. It's really cute. I like it a lot. But I'm kind of leaving a lot of the wedding stuff in her side of the court because I mean, she doesn't know much either, but I'm like, I don't know anything about that, So J Moon asks if I'm going to record the wedding. Yes. I did not record the proposal because that was just really personal between her and me, and not that the wedding isn't, but we will be hiring probably a professional videographer to do the wedding so that you guys can definitely see the wedding. Because I think that'll be a really special day. We're gonna wanna look back on that, because that's more than just, I mean, it took 30 seconds of actual time to me to propose to her.
Yeah.
But the wedding is like an entire ceremony, an entire reception thing, and I think that will be really cool to look back on and watch like this 10-minute movie of the time that we actually tied the knot and sealed the deal.
Yeah, I want to do it. I mean, I want to record it, especially because I want to incorporate my culture.
Yeah, we're gonna do a half Korean, half American wedding.
Yeah.
I get to wear what? What are they called?
I don't know what it's called.
Oh, I get to wear some sort of suit that is Korean.
Yeah.
That's cool. Alright guys, well that seems like a lot of the questions answered. I'm sorry if I didn't give you a specific shout out for your question, but a lot of people just asked pretty much the same 5 or 6 questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We are engaged. This is our official YouTube announcement. And thank you guys so much for being with us throughout the whole way. I do apologize if you wanted to see the proposal, but like I said, I just wanted to keep that personal between me and her. And if you guys have any more questions, you can always just ask me on Twitter. Just shoot me random Twitter questions, and if I have not answered them, I will answer them on Twitter.
Yay!
Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys.